I decided to record the pre-part of, still in it. So before I come to you with my video transmissions, I usually do these weird little tappings and hummings, and rather than like press record when I'm ready, I thought I'd just show you the process. So yeah, I'm just kind of coming into my body, really coming into my heart, my chest, feeling my bones, my sternum. Breathing, sighing, as a way to just regulate my nervous system and open my throat so I can really share this little video with you from a very embodied and honest and authentic place. Hi. It's been a hot minute since I've done one of these video transmissions, sharings, because I've been in a bit of a funk. Been in a bit of a not inspired to speak to anything right now after a lot of giving out of content over the years, months, weeks with the Radical Woman alumni, and needed the time to just get clear on my own authentic intention and offering. And I feel called in this video to speak to the journey of remembering and recommitting to our service, to our business, to our brand, to the work that we do. Because I certainly can go through phases of, fuck all of this, I'm ready to delete my Instagram account, I was ready to close my website, I don't want to be a woman's coach, I don't want to have this wild nettle brand, I want to disappear and maybe become a performance artist or a writer or a recluse. So these are things that happen and we probably all go through them. I don't often share them because to admit to you all that I'm feeling uninspired by my own space is probably bad business protocol. But the real reason most of you follow me and are with me in this journey is because you really admire my truth. And so my truth to you is it's taken me some time to find the root of this space and what I do and why I do it. And so I've been really reflecting with friends and my mentors and my beautiful lover partner, life partner. And what came through was to actually go back to the original reason why I started offering these services, courses, products. And that relates to my personal story. And it's quite a story. Sorry, I just have to say I'm very impressed with the breast size. This is just really distracting me because I've never had a cleavage in my entire life. And I've worn quite a top, but anyway, it's quite intimidating for me to see my own breasts. So just excuse that. I have a large bone in the middle of my chest that protrudes outwards, which basically prevents a big cleavage. If you know me personally, you would know that. So yeah, they have to be a particular size to actually create cleavage. Anyway, I digress. My story up until this point, really, let's say that, because my story is ever evolving. But the story that led me on this path was really one of experiencing and embodying the archetypes that I teach, and not knowingly at the time, but as I track back, it makes sense to me. And I will give you some sort of key moments, and the rest will be discovered in other ways. But a key moment was actually leaving my comfort zone, which I correlate to the witch, the burning, the going outside of what you know. So I left home at 17. I traveled to a country all by myself. It was terrifying. I lived with a family I didn't know initially. I took this big risk to find my sovereignty and independence outside of my family and the comforts of the Cape Town bubble and the privileges I'd grown up in. And obviously using those privileges to get me to the UK. In this time of my life, I was also very focused on being the best child and goodest girl I could possibly be by going to King's College, studying my ass off, getting a first, really living up to this ideal of who I thought was a great child, a successful woman. But I was very disconnected and disembodied. And I know that because I hardly remember this time of my life. It was like years went by and I have no recollection other than diary entries that just spoke of anxiety and eczema and eating disorders and this rush. And I'm very blessed because I did get quite sick from the partying, the denying of the true connection to my purpose. My body became unwell, and it was a big wake up to realizing that I wasn't on the path. And I'm sharing this because it's fucking scary to admit that you are on a course that looks incredible from the outside, but is not actually true to who you are. And so when I redirected and started going on a deep spiritual seeking journey, it was that burning of everything I thought I was and knew that led me to this embodied experience of how to teach that, how to support women through cycles of death, ending in relationships. I was engaged once. Leaving my ex was one of the most painful, darkest nights of the soul. Losing my home, my chickens, my dog, my entire dream life that I'd created for myself. Meeting my shamanic teachers, Susan Weed, who was terrifying, getting brought to my knees in humility around how disconnected I was to the land and to spirit, and how indoctrinated I was to be this vegan, hippie, spiritual, higher than thou, yoga and kundalini and Reiki being, because I'd done my teacher training in yoga and Reiki, and I just, there were so many moments in my life where I realize now the subtlety of this construct of spirituality and how it can look really specific on the outside if you tick off all the certifications and expertise, and what I keep coming back to is it's actually in the moments of being a human and letting go of the expectations that I put on myself to please my parents, breaking up with people, moving countries, starting a business, committing to a business, hiring people, looking at a fucking Excel sheet. It's like those are the things that actually count for me in my spiritual evolution, and it's not really the expensive certification. And so to come back to my intention with everything I do is to teach from a place of embodiment, to use those experiences and those painful lessons and how I moved through them and into this place of really living an incredible life and really offering incredible work. I owe it to those times. And so my core desire as I've moved through all these things is to bring women, maybe in particular, but people into their bodies, because all I've learned in this journey is that when I'm in my body and really grounded and really honest with myself, my body tells me, this isn't it. This is not right. And those signals are really subtle or really loud if you don't pay attention. And so my service is to always bring women back into their bodies so they can trust their own intuitive knowing. And that is, for me, empowerment. My work is to empower. It's to bring you back into your power so you can live a beautiful life and then share beautiful products, services, share your art into the world and make the world a more beautiful place. And that requires radical responsibility for where you find yourself. And so, yes, part of my teaching is to be absolutely honest and absolutely coherent, even in this transmission of like, wow, I've really struggled to come back here. I've really felt so bored by this space and by my own stuff, really. I feel my own death happening, where I'm having to re-look at all of what I do and take greater risk because it's become too comfortable again. And sometimes comfortable's okay. Sometimes it's okay to take also a break. I'm an Aries firecracker. But my natural inclination is towards movement, and I like that wave. I like the process of rethinking and recreating and really recommitting to the origin of what it is that I'm here to do and bring. And so I wanted to share that this is the space I'm in. I'm recommitted to Wild Nettle and to the big vision that that business holds around reconnecting us to the wild plants and reclaiming our sovereignty around our health and our responsibility to prevent dis-ease by nourishing our bodies daily. And I'm recommitting to my expression, my radical, honest expression, which comes through as gifts for others, women and men. I know many men follow these pages and videos that I give and they're like, thank you. And so I'm recommitting to that sharing of my process and my tools as a form of inspiration for humanity and people, however silly, however deep, however superficial. It's served me well, it's served others well, and I'm so incredibly grateful that this gets to be my job and how I earn a living and live an incredibly abundant life. And so that's really just the essence of it. It's gratitude, it's recommitment, it's simplifying and focusing back on the original intention of empowerment, embodiment, radical responsibility, and then ultimately liberation and peace in a very chaotic world. So there we go. Love you all. Thanks for being here.